Welcome back to Mystery Mondays, the Monday Mystery Show for more Sinking Island. I was looking for the library and I ran all over this building. I ran over the first two floors of this building. I couldn't find it, but I found a bunch of people.
Morning, Inspector Jack Norm. I'm the one charged with investigating the death of Mr. Jones.
Ah, it's you who will be investigating. Very good. Good morning.
I thought he was trying to do an accent for a second, but he's not.
Jones was my grandfather. I would have
The way he said,
preferred
I thought he was going to be doing an accent, but he's not.
of Segura for a sad reason.
It's not that sad. It doesn't sound like it's that sad. I don't think anybody's upset, actually. Maybe, I think you might be the first person that referred to it as such sad.
Baina mute. What is that about?
My grandfather was always very discreet about that. I know that he and Baina fell off the cliff right here on this island, and that it cost him the use of his limbs. As for Baina,
All four or just the two?
from the time of the tragic event. But I don't know more details about this affair, Inspector.
I'm surprised that Colio, even if he was angry at Jones, was not more grateful for his generosity.
I have nothing to say about that, Inspector. I don't know what you're talking about.
Who? Colio. What is Colio?
Gifts from Jones Hyde. Why did he want to?
Oh,
assure
Colio's
the future of
buying his dad.
his daughter.
I can say nothing on the subject, Inspector.
Okay, are you a lawyer too? I thought
What can you tell me regarding the
I was
death of
looking for the
Walter
lawyer.
Jones?
How I would have loved to have done something to save my grandfather, but it was too late and too dangerous. It was Noland who gave me the news. He suspects the daughter of the fisherman, but it's you who is the inspector, not me.
Okay.
Where were you and what were you doing last night?
I spent the evening in my room, in Christina's company. It was Sonia.
I don't know who Christina is.
11:30 p.m. about-
Have I met Christina? Is that the one in here? Nice to you?
My grandfather was a real force of nature, despite his handicap.
We're still asking her these.
Relationship with Walter.
This is just the standard set of questions. You can
Walter
click
was a
on
good
this.
man, Inspector. I admired his rise to success.
This is the procedural folder.
We were very close in spite of all the old stories which my brother and my sister must have endlessly told you about.
Which stories are you talking about?
Old family quarrels. We are divided on our opinion about my
Oh, I think they mentioned them, but I don't think they went into detail. Don't remember.
to involve
I didn't ask.
as far as it concerns
I might have asked. I wasn't listening.
Walter Jones gave this to Baina, didn't he? What were the bonds that connected them?
Really, Inspector, I didn't know. It's not the kind of thing my grandfather would do.
Oh, well, he did it, so it must be the kind of thing he would do.
Rightful owner of this piece of cheese.
People don't do things that they're not the kind of people to do. It's not how actions work.
Sonia.
Sonia is my sister, and I have a lot of affection for her. She is a very...
You don't need to talk. You don't need to go into detail about that. We're good.
What do you think of Colio?
I saw Colio on several occasions, of course, but I don't know him well.
I forgot how stupid Colio's face looks. Oh.
Lorenzo is a mystery for me, Inspector. He's a professional...
Even for the characters in this game.
and he takes refuge in a cynical depression that's very unpleasant for others.
Why is he an imposter? He's just an architect, isn't he?
I don't really know her, Inspector. I have nothing special to say on this subject.
I didn't know there were a lot of imposter architects.
What do you think of the attorney, Hubert de Nolan?
Ah, Noland. He's not a nobody. He's one of the best business attorneys on this planet, Inspector.
Okay, fine.
My grandfather recruited him.
Did you see anyone at the Tortoise Belvedere last evening, or did anything at all catch your attention?
Sorry, Inspector Norm, but I saw nothing. I, for one, spent the evening in my room with my girlfriend, Christina.
Okay, so it is that cold-looking woman next to you. I got it.
No.
In that case, you can't help me. I get it.
I know you weren't having sex with her, because I could see. I could see the type of woman she is.
I have to conduct an investigation on the death of Walter Jones.
Good morning, Inspector. I am Christina Bromsky. I am
Hey,
the
double
girlfriend of
confirmed
Walter Jones, and
by the
Mr.
accent.
Walter is not from my family.
You purchased this
I
woman,
didn't
huh?
know him well.
Marco?
Not like this place, which is full of sadness for Marco today.
I'm surprised that Colio, even if he was angry at Jones, was not more grateful for his generosity.
In any case, it's not.
Oh,
to me
God.
that Mr. Jones would have made a gift.
What happened to her? Can I ask her about that? He won't let me ask her about the scar. Hey,
Did you see anyone at the tourist
be more
there
rude,
last
Jack.
evening, or did anything at all catch your attention?
I don't know anything about it, Mr. Norm. I spent the evening in my room with my
She
boyfriend,
fall in a boat?
After dinner and a short hand of poker, I learned of the death of Walter Jones around 11:30 p.m.
See, dinner and poker. If you play poker with somebody after having dinner, you're not having sex
I'm
together.
sorry.
I understand. Too bad that you can't help me. Who is the rightful owner of this piece of chain?
I can't tell it all, Jack. Is it okay if I call you Jack?
No. Call me whatever you prefer.
He said no. I was going to say no, but not no, it's fine. As in, no, don't call me that.
I don't know anything, Jack. It's the attorney who told us everything. He almost died to save the old man. Such courage is beautiful. Don't you agree, Jack?
I really feel sorry for this guy. He purchased this Russian bride and she immediately got in an accident and fucked up her face.
We were both there. Sonia told us about the death of Mr. Jones around 11:30 p.m.
What was your relationship with Walter Jones?
I didn't know Mr. Jones well, Jack,
He's just waiting out her visa at this point.
who loved his grandfather so much.
Walter Jones gave this
Marco might be the only one.
What were the bonds that connected them?
A diamond. One has to find a woman, Jack. Walter Jones was still very young, wasn't he? Despite his age. He must have used the gift to... In short, you see what I'm saying, Jack?
No. Say it more explicitly, please. I've got a lot to ask her about, I guess.
Christina, can you confirm to me
Who's
that you
this?
passed the end of
This
the-
is Marco?
Yes, of course, Jack.
He didn't look like that when I was talking to him.
Left Baina mute. What is that about?
I don't know anything about it. I thought she was mute from birth.
I would love it if you could tell me a little about Sonia. What do you know about Lorenzo Battaglieri?
Lorenzo
I guess you can skip. I found out how to skip, but it skips the whole dialogue. You could skip, but it skips the whole dialogue.
The old man who lives near here?
It's fine. It puts all the necessary clues in my clues box.
What do you think of the attorney, Hubert?
This game has a built-in meconism for me.
He is even
Or
humiliating sometimes.
They had the foresight to think of Let's Players
What do you think of Baina?
and just put all the clues in this box.
I have nothing to say about her.
She doesn't like her because
What can you tell me about Marco?
she doesn't have a messed up face.
He is my darling.
All right, I don't need to hear that. See you later. We got a bunch of stuff now. Can I use these? Okay, now we can. We might be able to have a better. This doesn't match. Oops. But this tells us. Okay, we need to find. We want to find out who was at the beach. Who was at the tortoise, the Belvedere of the tortoise. So let's look for those first. Well, we know Paina was at the beach, though, don't we? Because she left her shit. She left her shit all over the place. M. Oh well, this is the M, obviously. Oh no, that's an M there. Oh, this. Maybe? Oh, but he says he was in that she was in the hut with him. Sonia was with Billy and Clara. Lorenzo says well, Sonia, this is the only believable alibi. He would obviously lie to protect his daughter, but if there were three people, but I don't have Sonia and Clara. There's still more people to talk to, so I guess let's get to that. Oh, he was about to start blabbing. There's a kitchen. I didn't mean to go downstairs. I guess that's fine. You don't have to walk so slow up the stairs. Right, the kitchen's around here somewhere. I can't remember. Here it is. I found it. Who's this guy?
Good morning. Let me introduce myself. Inspector Jack Norm. I'm here to conduct the investigation on the death of Mr. Jones.
Inspector Norm. Very good. Very good. I am Martin Abruzzi, the husband of Sonia Jones.
She's the one at the beach. Right?
Who is the rightful owner of this piece of chain?
I confess I haven't the foggiest idea.
Okay.
What can you tell me regarding the death of Walter Jones?
Mr. De Noland had us all come together in the restaurant to give us the tragic news. It was a terrible shock for us, as you might suspect. Outside, the storm was raging. Abominable weather.
You a writer,
It
sir?
would have been madness to go out and risk our lives. Because, in truth, we couldn't have brought poor Mr. Jones back to life.
Where were you and what were you doing last night?
I spent the evening at the restaurant with my wife Sonia and the other guests until the departure of Mr. Jones.
Do you have lockjaw? I can't tell because there's no lip flaps, but you sound like you got lockjaw.
It was Sonia who woke me up to tell me about the tragedy that had taken place.
I'm surprised that
Oops.
Colio, even if he was angry at Jones, was not more grateful for his generosity.
I don't know anything about this, Inspector.
What was your relationship with Walter Jones?
I certainly won't try to play any games with you, Inspector. And I won't surprise you if I tell you that I didn't have much affection for this man.
Right.
He was the grandson of my wife. Full
That's not even that. It won't surprise me if anybody says they don't have affection for this. It honestly surprised me when that other guy seemed to have affection for this man.
It truly doesn't affect me.
What do these gifts from Jones hide? Why did he want to assure the future of Colio and his daughter?
I was unaware of all of this.
I'm told that an accident left Baina mute. What is that about?
I don't know anything. My wife spoke to me about it. I know that Jones and Baina had a fall together that could have been fatal, but I don't know anything more.
Oh, God.
Think of Christina.
Christina,
Now that we've met these more people, we have to go back to all the other people and ask them about the new people.
I don't really know her, Inspector. Except, of course, what everyone can see.
What, the scar?
I would love it if you could tell me a little about Sonia.
Why won't Jack ask anybody about that scar?
Sonia is my wife. Sonia is the woman I love. Sonia is the woman of my life. She is
Yeah, I was about to say I don't see it, but then I looked at him again and I was like, wait, no, I do see it. They're perfect for each other.
Colio.
I didn't have the chance to spend much time
Two just very uninspiring people.
I don't really know him.
What do you know about Lorenzo Battaglieri?
Delicate question, Inspector. I take Lorenzo to be a whimsical creature, somewhat unreliable, and is commonly considered to be an incompetent to boot.
What do you think of
How bad can an archetype be? You're just most of the time you're just drawing floor plans that already exist.
That maybe she isn't entirely a stranger to Walter Jones's death.
Why would Baina have something to do with Walter Jones?
I guess if he's working with an eccentric millionaire, he must be doing more exotic prints. But I don't know. Was he working with Walter Jones?
Think of the attorney, Hubert de Noland.
I cannot comment on Mr. De Noland for the simple reason that
All right, that's fine.
Can you tell me about Marco?
I hardly know my brother-in-law, Inspector, but what I do know of him is very positive. I appreciate him a lot. He is someone to
I guess that's light. That's thunder. It sounds like somebody who's sighing. That's like this. Like that. That's what it sounds like.
Did you see anyone at the Tortoise Belvedere last evening, or did anything at all catch your attention?
I'm afraid I won't be very useful to you, Inspector. I had dinner with the guests and with Mr. Jones. I stayed for a bit after the old man had left for his evening walk. It must have been around 10 p.m. Then I went back to my apartment.
This game also has scrolling text boxes. Very fancy.
It was around 10:30 p.m. I wanted to finish reading a manuscript. I'm a publisher, as you certainly must already know.
No, I thought you were a writer because you talk like an asshole.
I confess I was pretty excited about the trip.
But I guess you're just influenced by writers. You work a lot with writers and you've picked up their
Anything
mannerisms.
about medicine?
Of course not.
Too bad. I really need some medical advice. Well, I will wait for the coroner's report. I have to believe you. Thanks.
All right. I can't talk to this guy. He's just a worker, I guess. Oh, wait. I might be able to talk to this guy. Who's this? What are you doing over here? Oh, there's two people over here. Is that Sonia? Weren't you at the beach? Or is this a new person?
Good morning, miss. I'm Jack Norm.
No,
police
new person.
inspector. I'm charged
From a
with
distance, she looks like
the
Sonia.
death of Mr. Jones.
Good morning.
Oh,
Mrs.
God.
Jones. Clara Jones. I'm Billy Jones's wife. Walter Jones was his
Oh, Clara.
grandfather, but I didn't really know him. So I will be
I've heard of Clara. You were not at the beach.
State about his death.
Yeah, nobody is. Don't worry about it.
Who's the rightful owner of this
Oh, no.
piece of chain?
These links are
If
really
I
strong.
If I suspected everybody who didn't care that Walter Jones was dead, I would have to arrest everybody on this island,
Walter Jones.
except for
I have
Marco.
Nolan's version. He said that he
Honestly,
went
that
to
makes
Jordan's
Marco the
property
most
when
suspicious
Walter
one to me.
Jones had fallen from the top of the cliff in his wheelchair. Now, whether it was an accident or a murder, that I can't say.
Her voice, she sounds like a simpleton, like an idiot, like a stupid person. And then when I saw her face in the close-up, I was like, oh, she is.
Surprising. Even if he was angry at Jones, was not more grateful for his generosity.
I wasn't in the know, Inspector.
Like, I mean, like, sub 80 IQ, this woman.
Where were you and what were you doing last night?
Well, I was at the restaurant throughout the evening, and I can't say anything more. It was Nolan who informed us about Walter's death.
What was your relationship with Walter Jones?
Would you be surprised if I said that our relationship was far from good?
Like, why does she talk like a 9-year-old girl?
I hurt a lot of people.
It's out of place in this game.
What do you think of Christina?
I like my brother-in-law, but
I like my brother-in-law. Oh boy.
a little strange that Marco would be with this woman. It's an indiscreet
She's-
relationship.
Have we met Billy? Have I met Billy yet? What's up with Billy? He better also be kind of
Sonia is An
retarded.
exceptional woman, Inspector. She inherited the straightforwardness of her mother. And I'm lucky to have a sister-in-law like her, you know.
She buys me ice
What do you
cream.
think of Colio?
I don't really know this Mr. Colio, but he's always very polite with me.
Calling random people Mr. and Miss.
Lorenzo Battiglieri is doubtlessly talented, Inspector, but I don't like his cynical and embittered nature.
But like a child would, not like Jack does.
Think of Baina.
I always wondered what happened to her, the poor thing. I wanted to talk about the accident. Indeed, the Jones family is in the habit of calling it the accident. She became mute after all.
And could you tell me more about this accident?
My husband already told me about it, but he doesn't know anything precise. He only told me that Jones and Baina had an accident together.
I would like to know more about Martin.
I like Martin. He gives the impression of...
Who's Martin? Have I met Martin?
My intuition is never wrong, Inspector. But we don't know each other very well, in fact.
Or have I just talked to other people about
What do
Martin?
you think of the attorney, Hubert de Nolant?
Hubert de Noland is a real professional, Inspector, and an attorney.
Was Martin the guy in the other room? In the same room? The other angle of the same room?
And I respect his choices. If he's happy with Christina after all, it's good.
I don't know if they're happy. They don't seem happy to me.
Did you see anyone at the Tortoise Belvedere last evening, or did anything at all catch your attention?
Well, I can't tell you anything. I spent the evening at the restaurant. Sonia, Martin, and Billy will confirm this.
Do you know anything about medicine?
No, Inspector.
I understand. Too bad that you can't help me.
And nobody can help me.
Thank you.
Eventually, we're gonna meet somebody who knows something about medicine. It's a coin toss as whether they're gonna be a doctor type.
Police inspector. I'm mandated to conduct the investigation on the death of Mr. Walter Jones.
Good morning, Mr. Inspector Jack Norm. It's funny, your name rings a bell.
It's a very generic name, Jack Norm.
I'm Billy Jones,
Literally, my last name is
grandson
Norm.
and soon heir of the late Walter
Like
Jones.
normal. Jack Normal. That's my name. Of course you've heard it before.
I'm surprised that Colio, even if he was angry at Jones, was not more grateful for his generosity.
Well, I really have no idea, Norm.
What is this guy?
Who is the rightful owner of this piece of chain?
Sorry, but I don't know anything about this, Norm.
Who is this guy? Who am I talking to? I wasn't listening to the introduction. Is he necessary? Is he I thought he was just a janitor.
Baina mute. What is that about?
The Dark family
He doesn't
story.
look, he's not dressed like a janitor.
Father never wanted to tell us what happened between him and Baina that day. What is sure?
This is Billy?
Both of them fell
Okay,
on top
maybe
of
he
the
is simple. He's not taking advantage. That's what I was worried about.
was in a wheelchair, and the island bird didn't say another word. In my opinion, it was a love story that turned bitter.
Walter
I don't think
Jones
Baina was ever in love with Walter. Billy,
bonds that connected them.
I'm not
I
a
don't think
Satan.
this-
I have my faults, but
what I was worried about you doing, Walter was almost certainly doing, but way worse.
What can you tell me regarding the death of Walter Jones?
I found out about the death of the old man like everyone else at around 11:30 p.m. It was Nolan, his right-hand man, who informed us. This guy risked his life to save the old miser.
What does that mean? What did he do?
The daughter
So
of
he
the
killed him.
fisherman, Coutillo,
I don't care.
she's apparently involved.
Where were you and what were you doing last night?
I was absorbed in a hand of poker, and I was having pretty good luck. With Sonia and Martin for partners, and Nolan, the attorney of my grandfather, came to inform us of the death.
Okay.
These
Oops.
people Jones hide. Why did he want to assure the future of Colio and his daughter?
No, I have no idea.
I did. That wasn't a yes or no question,
Was your
but
relationship
that's
with
fine.
Walter Jones?
Yeah, I don't really want to tell you stories about my family. What I can tell you is that I had 1,000 reasons to detest the old man. But I immediately reassure you, Norm. The death of my grandfather took me completely by surprise.
Yeah, don't worry. You're not the first person to tell me you hated him. Don't. It's fine.
Principally to do with money, Inspector. I've got a fair bit of debt, and my super-rich grandfather never wanted to lend me a cent. But if you want to...
Well, you're just gonna throw it away.
kill anyone for money. Or anything else, for that matter.
If you use it to pay off your debts at all, you would just take out more debts.
Go and get a bite to eat.
I guess I've spoken to everybody. Right. A bite to eat is just a baguette. You just grab a baguette and he's eating it here standing up. Are we eavesdropping or something? What? How long is this gonna last? Or just we're just here watch Jack eat a baguette. He could-
Go, an efficient meal.
Not a meal. That's a snack. It's a snack at best. Right? Have things changed or something?
It's you again, Inspector. So,
You don't have to stand up. Like,
What
I have to
reason
ask
did
everybody
Billy
about
have
everything.
for hating his grandfather.
our grandfather hated the useless waste of money. Billy lost a lot of money gambling and hoped that grandfather would help him float back up, which of course he refused.
Why does Clara speak about having to dutifully respect your choice of living with Christina?
It was very nice, but maybe a little narrow-minded. My sister-in-law has the usual prejudices against girls from Eastern Europe.
I don't know what are the usual prejudices against. Is this a Cold War thing? True love.
What
All
do you
right.
think of Christina?
Meeting Christina was one of the most important events in my life, Inspector.
All right. They protest too much.
Can you tell me
Both
about
of them.
Clara?
Both of they speak the words of a couple that are deeply in love with each other, but I can see the way they look at each other. They're not in love.
Billy for some-
I would like to know more about Martin.
I appreciate my brother-in-law's...
They're both having affairs.
And
I know that. They're not having sex with each other, but they're having sex with other people for sure.
So, tell me a little about Billy.
Billy is still a child at heart.
It's still very transactional for Christina.
But he is
She won't look anybody in the eyes.
It's very hard for his family.
Without a doubt. Thank you.
Part of that might be the scar, but part of it's just her personality.
Don't wander about like this, Jack. Ask me the question you want.
I have new questions
You
because
don't seem to be very welcome in the Jones family, Christina. They all think that you're a gold digger.
I doubt it. For them, a
all
good Eastern
there's one person
European
we've talked to
is
about
a
her.
slut. What do you want me to do, Jack?
Okay.
What can you tell me
I want you to tell me about
She's
every
very
character.
silly, Jack. She is a little silly, but very nice. She
Silly
knows
is
exactly
that
what
is that how you say retarded in Eastern European in whatever language you come from?
Martin is a very cultured man. He is also very charming. I like him a lot.
So, tell me a little about Billy.
Billy is very cool. He's a very funny guy.
Cool.
He definitely
Okay, so
gets
Martin
his
is definitely the
just
publisher.
as he does in poker.
I understand.
Okay. I understand. Who else do we have to talk to now? We've got, well, everybody's moved, haven't they? You tell me where they are. Oh, Denolit's at the dining room now. A lot of people are everybody's having dinner. It's dinner time. Location. Still at the beach. All right, Billy's still in the kitchen. Are we missing someone? Can we not see everybody here? No, there she is. Clara. She's still in the kitchen too. All right, they're still in the kitchen. Oops. Oops. Don't hit that. Don't hit that. Oops. Resume. There we go. Who else? Everybody's here. Oops. I guess they. Exit. That's right. Okay. I guess they expected that the last people I talked to would be in this building. And so they gathered everybody else in this building, almost everybody else in this building, so that I could go through all the new things I've learned, which I will do next week, because that's a pretty good place to wrap it up. See you next week for talking to everybody about everything new on Mystery Mondays.